Sevas would never admit this to anyone, but she wanted to be taken. She imagined a fleet of liberating ships arriving, offering food and the chance to leave this miserable planet of starvation and abuse, of starting over somewhere where your father didn't give you to a male you'd never met, who would likely treat you horribly even if you did do everything he ordered you to do. Most of all, Sevas wanted to be free to make her own way in life, with or without a mate. Unfortunately, the reality of being abducted did not match up with her fantasies. She would never forget the last time she sat with her friends. Turi was about to be sent off to her new bondmate, and so they were sitting in a field, weaving grass together, or some such nonsense. The point was to make a grass crown for Turi to celebrate her match. It was all absurd, but traditions died slowly. And this would be the last time they would see their friend. She would never return to their settlement again. Sevas hated the way things were done. The settlement had to grow as much food as they could in soil that hated growing things. Then they had to send it to the entity that ruled them, the Axis. No one knew if a single individual or an organization constituted the Axis. No one even understood what it wanted, aside from the food they should be eating rather than giving away. Sevas had watched the alien ship land beside them with a mixture of hope and fear. The hope was secret, of course. She was the only one of her friends who ever looked out to the lands beyond and wondered if it wouldn't be better out there, in the unknown. It became apparent very quickly, however, that these beings were not there to rescue them. Wherever they would end up would be worse than Settlement 112-1. The great, winged overseer who watched the settlement and kept order tried to stop the raiders from taking her and her friends. He succeeded in keeping Turi, although it was debatable whether her fate would be better with him. In the end, however, the Axis had given these aliens, with their wet snouts and snapping teeth, permission to take her and her friends, to sell them, as if their lives meant nothing more than a few credits. Sevas held it together for the most part. She was the tallest and strongest of them all, and the most likely to send her fist into someone's face. As they were pulled away from the overseer and Turi, dragged toward the alien ship, the only thing that held Sevas back from wildly attacking their abductors was her fear for her friends. She felt protective over little Fivra, who was petite and sweet and not a fighter. Fivra was like a little sister to her, while Lilas, whose dark hair was turning a rich purple, had gone silent, rigid, and terrified, very different from her usual cool exterior. Lilas was known to offer a sarcastic or sharp comment to anyone who annoyed her. She acted as if nothing bothered her, but her heart was as soft as Fivra's beneath that armor.